Yeah, I was just sitting here writing down all of the companies that I own and or I'm a part of, and going through it. It's funny. It's just you start to realize what all you got going on, and and it's bigger than you. You know, other people involved, etc. And we were going to shoot content for each one of these companies and continue to kind of build a brand around them. But just talking about in general, what all I do and what all I have going on at the moment just today is we got 6 custom houses that we're working on with the construction company. We got 1 commercial project we're finishing up, renovation on a commercial building face. Waterproofers Incorporated, our waterproofing business, is still doing well and cruising along. A&A Property Investments is our property acquisitions company, so we buy rentals and hold rentals with that company and do a lot of real estate with that. My wife recently got her license. I say recently, like in 2020, so about a year ago during COVID, she got her real estate license. And so she's selling retail real estate, and she does a lot of the transactions with the real estate investing side as well. She does a lot of the acquisitions, and we're building a team for that company. And recently, within the last 6 months, we opened a jiu-jitsu gym that I'm a partner on. There's 6 members of the LLC, and that's just kind of fell in my lap. You know, I was talking to somebody last night about, they said, well, what do you do? And when I answer that question, it's relatively hard to say, well, what do I do? Because it's not specific. You know, I have a lot of things going on, a lot of things that are moving and growing, and just kind of fell in play. It just falls in place. Like the jiu-jitsu gym itself I was like, I'm gonna go start a jiu-jitsu gym and we're gonna force this, and it wasn't my first business to try to make happen. It happened by circumstances, and other members, you know, became a part of it, and now we have over 75 plus members, and we had a grand opening less than 2 weeks ago. So it's growing, and I think that's really how business works, at least how it's worked for me. It's a very malleable situation. You know, some things you try it and you see how that's going, and if you're successful with it, you continue to push on it, and if not, you can kind of adapt and move along. You know, I think I've heard stories of other entrepreneurs that start a business being a specific thing. We're going to start a paper business, but then they actually end up being a delivery business because they found that they made more money taking that paper from point A to point B for other people. And so it's just like life. You're always adapting with what's going on and growing into what you want to see happen and make happen. So we're trying to get more content out and be specific about what we're doing. And so Kenny and I are racking our brains at the office today on a Saturday.
I guess it seems like entrepreneurs in general, I guess, and you specifically, like, you switch businesses.
Yeah, they have like wearing different hats. Like I'm doing, my mind's in one business in one day, and then it's in the other.
Even though like you're switching, you're still sticking to like
growing all.
Yeah, so like you're still sticking with waterproofers and all.
Right.
That.
Oh yeah, everything.
But, like, you're still transitioning. Like, how are you able to manage that?
Yeah, adding people, and decentralized command. That's kind of a term that Jocko Willink uses, but it's a good one. Decentralized command, so allowing your people to operate those businesses. They're going to have their own struggles, and adding those team members, but those companies have to be successful enough in order to add a team member. You can't have a small business and then add somebody, and then them, all the income goes to them, and you have no more income. You're building businesses for no reason. So there's definitely strategy to it. And that's just how it unfolds. And some businesses, like real estate in general, they all work off of each other. So you buy and sell real estate like we do, we can use our construction team to come renovate that. And so we have the construction experience to be able to do those projects more than if I would have just been, I want to be an investor. When I first started my first business to be an investor, and I see a lot of investors struggle with the construction side because they'll hire a general contractor. That's one of the number one problems for investors is they hire a general contractor, and the general contractor either doesn't work fast enough, doesn't do a good job, or is too expensive, or just rips them off because they don't have those relationships prior. And so they have to build those relationships. And so I'm going into building more investment real estate and building a huge inventory of real estate and a brand behind that, et cetera, with the construction experience already being in place and a construction company to back that up. And that's super helpful, at least with the businesses that mesh together. You know, when waterproofing, and it works with building as well. You know, I have a waterproofing company that does waterproofing for my building company, and they're just fluid together. You know, a waterproofing company is definitely more of a faster turnover, so it's a more of a cash flow basis business. You know, you get the job done in X amount of days and then you get paid for it. And in building, a lot of times, if you're doing speculative building or you're doing flips and investment property or things like that, you get a one lump sum. You build something and you sell it, and then you make the money. Build something, you sell it, and you make the money. So they help me and my family in having different, you know, incomes, different types of income, and it's grown and been able to employ more people and build in general. And then you utilize those people to cover basics or bases in all of your other businesses, you know, so they have to wear other hats too when you're small. They say running a small business is harder than running a business with over 100 employees, because when you have a business that has 100 employees, you know that John comes in and he does a specific job, and that's all he does. And then he clocks in, he clocks out, and it's pretty simple. He knows his job, and that's what it is. In a small business, not only do your people have to wear different hats and do different things for different companies, or just be very adaptable to situations, you yourself and your employees have to be that way. And so I could see the point that is being made by, you know, these people talking about smaller businesses being hard. But it's worth it. And then you get to decide when you build a business. I had this conversation last night with somebody at dinner. You know, there's people that have $100 million companies that have tons of employees. And then and I love real estate because you don't necessarily have to have a lot of employees. You know, I spoke to another person at the table and I said, how many employees do you have? And they do investment real estate. She said 3. You know, and this person over here this other guy does more of a manufacturing type thing. And I said, how many employees do you have? Well, he goes, well, during the peak holiday season, we'll have up to 250 employees. And so both are successful businesses. You know, this person fell into this because of their life and what they did, and this person fell into this. But you have to make that choice if you're going to be an entrepreneur. And I think more people don't really make that choice on what direction they want to go. They kind of just do what they're given or what they know at first. And that's good at first, but if you want to dive into another space, the transition is hard. The transition is hard, but it's worth it if your passion's somewhere else.